Beats Planet.
Man, my intro dope as hell. My weight music dope as hell. Everything about my show dope as hell. My guest dope as hell. What's happening, y'all? It's Voch, the Lombardi. We in here draft talk. It's an early show. It's 4:30 Central, 5 Eastern or whatever. Foots got off early. He wanted to run it for the cardio. So this was the day that we gonna do Cowboy draft talk anyway, because you know Cowboy fans like to infiltrate my other draft talk. So let's give y'all a whole show of Cowboy draft talk. Brother Foots, what's happening?
Vacho, what's going on for the one time, baby?
Everything's everything, my guy. The people haven't heard from us in a good little bit, and it was interesting because the last show we did was about 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, man, I got so many more thoughts about things that are different about my Cowboys than 2 weeks ago. And I know that you've been watching, film or whatever. You've been, processing and all that type of stuff. So we just gonna run this for the cardio, do what we do, and we just gonna entertain the folk with some good information. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I'm ready to rock and roll. I've been developing draft plans, but like you said earlier, pre-show, kind of just talking and getting ready, it's still early. Yes. It's important for people to understand that It's very, very early on in this process, and we don't have to draft right now. Right. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of it all. We don't have to draft right now, Voch.
I was on the live stream yesterday. The difference between football and the NBA, right, is that they do draft first, and then they do free agency, and I think that's backwards, and it's kind of weird to me. But with the NFL, we get to fill the roster out first. We get to do free agency first. Like free agency about to be in like 2 weeks or so, and then we get to do draft or whatever. So I took that in mind, right? First, just kind of hear me out, man. A couple of weeks ago, man, people were trying to present me with the notion that, yo, Voch, what happens if a receiver falls to Dallas? Would you take him? And I'm a big Amari Cooper fan. I'm not having it, Foots. I'm knocking furniture. I'm not replacing Amari Cooper, right? But I thought about this though, Foots. What about in free agency? We spend a big bulk of money and we go and get a 3-tech and we go and get a free safety. We lock up Byron and we bring Quinn back and go get another pass rusher or whatnot. And we basically do everything we wanted to do on defense wise. If we fill up all of our draft needs with free agency. And Henry Ruggs is on the board at 17. Or Jerry Jeudy's on the board at 17. And I thought about that shit. I was like, man, my whole brain just flipped. Because if I get the defense that I want, let's just drop points on folks. You know what I mean?
Listen. Why not?
Yeah.
Here's the deal. When I say nothing is off the table, and we said this initially, but now we talking, when it's just me and you, we can kind of just explore.
Sure.
Now we talking that talk. If Henry Ruggs is staring you in the face, it's going to be hard not to draft him. I'm telling you.
Sure.
Dog, sure. He's going to, and I guess we just diving in now.
Yeah, go ahead.
And with the combine coming up soon, very soon. What is it? Next week, honestly.
The end of February, so like the 28th through March the 4th or something.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, next Friday. They're doing prime time. It's a new schedule.
Yeah.
And we gotta remember what the combine is. Voch and Foots are always tape guy. I know I am.
Sure.
Tape trumps all.
Right.
No pun intended.
Right.
However, when you see Henry Ruggs run, you're gonna want to draft him.
You just think about the possibilities, man. You just think about all the possibilities. And the only reason I was so opposed to Henry Ruggs is I was like, fam, what we going to do at 3-tech? But what if we sign somebody at 3-tech in free agency that we feel really good about? I'll take Henry Ruggs if we ain't got sure, Kinlaw is a fantastic notion if we don't have a 3-tech. But if we do, okay, cool, let's sign somebody to just kind of back up and rotate with him, and let's go get a gangster at receive and move on with our life. You see what I mean?
I do, because at the end of the day, yes, you gave up a 1 for Amari Cooper, right?
Just keep Coop. Shit, play both of them.
Hey, you can. You know what I mean? If you hit your needs, and that is the beauty of free agency. Now, what we got to figure out is with this regime, right, Voch? How active and big of a players? How big? What players will we be players in free agency?
Right.
We need to figure that out.
Sure.
This regime and McCarthy and Green Bay was known for drafting, draft develop. Patriots draft develop, and Dallas had kind of taken on that role as well, draft develop. But I'm not mad at the right pieces in free agency.
I think what I've learned over the past few months, because I used to be anti-free agency, right? I was always build through draft guy. But when you look at the last few playoff teams or whatever, right, you see that the Frank Clark signing was pivotal. Or the D Ford signing helped out. The Honey Badger signing was important.
Emmanuel Sanders,
right? You know what I'm saying? So you will need a free agent somewhere. Like the core of your team should probably be guys that you drafted or whatever. But just a free agent piece here and there, and it's kind of really changed my stance on it, you know what I mean? And not like 5th round pick Robert Quinn. Like, that's an additional piece that you can add on. But I mean, like, can we get a gangster that we spending double-digit dollars on to bring a guy in to be impactful day one?
Get a gangster, get a player,
Sure.
Get what Green Bay got in Preston Smith.
Yeah.
What's it, Darius? With the Smith and with the law firm of Smith and Smith. Really changed their defense.
Sure.
So, hey, I'm all for it. I'm sure the chat box right now has pieces that they want to go grab. Now we got to figure out, okay, what will this team in this regime? We got to understand that was all under Garrett's regime. Sure. Hell, even when you think about Amari Cooper, that was a Garrett decision. That was Garrett. His ties with a Nick Saban is very well known that how much he has an affinity for Nick Saban and how much he trusts with Saban. They were on the same staff in Alabama. I mean, not Alabama, but the Dolphins. So sure. He knew what he was getting with Amari Cooper. We don't know if McCarthy and his guys want Coop. We don't know. We just don't know right now what we don't know.
But everybody want Coop, man. Coop's fantastic. What do you mean?
Everybody do want Coop.
Yeah.
But you get my drift though, Voch.
Sure.
And so in that, hey, let's see what's gonna happen with this draft. We don't know what position the Cowboys are going. So it'll be interesting. But I'm gonna tell you, when you bring up that name Henry Ruggs, and I think you've seen kind of some mock drafts, but Cowboys fans like, no way. Listen, you still have to slot guys as the type of player. Like, you don't want to, because you need a 3-tech, because you need a safety, draft a safety that's just not a better player than a guy staring you in your face.
Yeah. Henry Ruggs does more than just do Henry Ruggs things. Like, he can allow you to totally change your offense in a way that, I think Coop could be the best nickel receiver like ever in football. You know what I mean? So like he's doing if we line up with Cooper and Gallup as our outside guys and we put Coop inside. So how about this though, Fuss? What do we do with Randall Cobb then? Do we just push him off the bridge or do we run 4 receiver sets? Because in my mind, if we can go out there and not run tight ends and just put 4, four wideouts out there and just run the ball out of that set. I'm fine with that. But I think the one thing that we got to do as Cowboy fans is we kind of got to figure out how we drafting now, because it's certain rules that we knew going into this thing. Okay, they don't like Sam linebackers, they don't like one techs, they don't like safeties. We have no idea now, so we don't know if we're going to be an offense that's going to run four receivers. We don't know how much we value tight ends or whatnot. One of your pet cats is a tight end, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But how you think the changing of the coaching staff is going to affect how we look at roster building?
Okay, I'm glad that you've hit on that more or less. I'll be honest, we now have to do a couple things, Voch. We need to figure out what type of team and what type of ball does this team want to play. Does this team want to play with power? Okay, does this team want to line up 12 personnel? Do they want to play with two tight ends on the field? Majority. What's their base going to be? I tell you this: if you draft Henry Ruggs, you definitely push Randall Cobb off the bridge, because it's now overkill at that position. Especially if you have plans to still have Ezekiel Elliott in the fold. Okay, and obviously you do.
Yeah.
But do you want to? What? So Zeke now, right?
Right.
Zeke now, 3 more years in Zeke's prime. I'm thinking Zeke has maybe 4.
3.
But 3, right. We got to be honest.
It happens,
right.
man. And look, I think these crop of running backs that's getting paid now is making it hard for the next set of running backs to get paid. Because look, I was watching film on running backs yesterday, and I got sick that we gave Zeke so much money. Zeke is fantastic. Chat box, don't get me wrong. Zeke is amazing. Zeke is elite. But every time these running backs get their money, they fall off. Todd Gurley has fallen off. David Johnson has fallen off. And there's this new crop of running backs that haven't got paid yet. Christian McCaffrey, we talking about Dalvin Cook, guys like that haven't got paid yet. I bet you when they get paid, they're gonna fall down a little bit, man. Think about football last year. Every quarter of the season, a new running back was the best running back in football. Zeke was the best running back in football at some point. Dalvin Cook, then Christian McCaffrey. Then at the end, Derrick Henry was the best running back in football. All of us to talk about Raheem Mostert for damn 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, running backs ain't finna get paid no more, man. And I'm watching running backs last night, man, watching film on running back. I'm down to the 7th running back, like Zach Moss from Utah. Who's fantastic.
Who's a good player.
Fantastic.
Dog, Moss is like a really good player. So, no, I get it. And that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying last year.
Go ahead.
With that was like really my point when it came to okay, how much we giving Zeke, and are we still going to be able to fix the team and have the team good, and are you going to be able to pay both? And now we kind of see what's going on with Dak, the whole 9. But now we're in even more of a pickle with the simple fact of, okay, now you're trying to see what's this offense going to look like, because now you paid him. I want to use Zeke up.
Yeah.
But like you said, hell, the Rams gave Gurley that money. Now they want to trade him.
Sure.
The Rams want to trade Todd Gurley. Imagine that. Now, I want people in the chat, everybody, imagine that the Rams want to trade Todd Gurley.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying, Voch? Like, this is just where we're at.
Yep.
And so, okay, first I gotta know, okay, how are we playing football? Okay, what are we? Is it a Zeke 25 carries a game? Is it a true? I want to go to a true 2 running back offense to preserve Zeke. It's to that point that if we're gonna make a run, that you want to have a strong running game late in the season, then you need to be able to put in some stuff. Who I think that play design wise, Mike McCarthy can do that.
I'm constantly worried about Zeke falling off, but the only reason Zeke was the 5th running back this year is because Dak threw for damn near 5,000 yards. You know what I mean? Like, if Dak didn't do that, then Zeke would lead the league in rushing again. So I would only imagine that going into next year, Zeke is gonna still get a big workload, and we're gonna do whatever we're gonna do with Dak or whatever. But for the most part, we still should be a running team, right?
No, for sure, yeah. And so Henry Ruggs, you draft him because what has this team been lacking, Voch?
Sure, defense.
They've been so, but with the Ruggs, man, listen, I'm the speed. Like, just take the top off of a defense speed. And if you're gonna run the ball, man, you can draft a player who can still develop as a receiver later on in his career, like a true, two. But man, that his speed, and I'm sure there's people in the chat about, well, but you gotta understand when it comes to Ruggs, he's not just a speed guy. Like he does some things after the catch. I'm sure you've watched this film,
sure.
And I'm not super opposed to it. So
right. So what I'm saying is at first I absolutely rejected the idea of taking taking any kind of offensive player because my defense is terrible. But I put it in my mind saying, hey man, look, if we can fill out all our defensive needs in between now and mid-April or whatever, I don't mind taking an offensive player because there's this temperature around Cowboys fans now to where we fussing about paying guys and not paying guys. I think what's going to end up happening is that we're going to end up paying all our big fish, but we're going to have to find a way to get the rotational guys or some brand new complimentary pieces or whatever. So guys like Anthony Brown and like three other people to where they dollar amount could equal up to $8 million or whatever, they won't come back. So we're gonna have to draft there. I think there's a possibility that Byron and Dak and Cooper gets paid. We just got to find a way to fill in the other little spots or whatever. I got a super chat from Antoine, and Antoine is notorious for loving Zeke and hating Dak. And we was talking about running backs falling off or whatever, and he was like, quarterbacks fall off too. But running backs fall off at an alarming rate, Twan. They fall off like it just happens immediately at the snap of your damn finger. You know what I mean? Quarterbacks do fall off, but they more so fall off over time. Appreciate your super chat.
There's a higher possibility. Listen,
sure,
Dak will be on this team longer than Zeke.
Sure.
It's just the facts. I mean, we all got 21 jerseys. I get it.
Sure.
You'll look up and Zeke won't be on this team. It happened with Dez. It's just the facts.
Sure.
Just because the shelf life of the position is just not long. It's not long.
Let me ask you this too, Fuzz, because I think it's two sides of the argument, right? In terms of roster building for the Cowboys, right? I think the fans are on two different sides. I think one side of the fans want to win a Super Bowl this year. I think the other side of fans trying to save money. Does that make sense?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No, totally.
Like,
and that leads to the point: are we in a soft rebuild? Are we? Because I agree.
And see, I don't. I'm trying to aggressively win today. Like some people like, we can't sign Byron, we can't sign Coop because we're gonna be in salary cap hell again. If you win a Super Bowl and end up in salary cap hell, you wouldn't care. You know what I mean?
No, you wouldn't.
So I'm trying to rush to win. So I'm trying to spend every single dollar that I can. If we get out of free agency with double-digit $1 million on the books, we ain't doing something right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, see, and that's where this draft is so important.
Sure.
Okay? That's where this draft is so important because it changes how you draft. Round one, are you drafting a developmental player? Or are you drafting a guy who comes in and gives you something immediately? Like, day one, Henry Ruggs can touch the field. But, there's some pieces like this draft, you need production. If you want to chase a ring, you need production out of your top 3 picks this year.
Okay, so let's do this. How about this? Let's get into some of these players then. On that point, you about to be the star of this, okay? I've been looking at some mock drafts, right? We could do later rounds at some point later, but let's focus on first round right now because we still got big questions about the first round. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 names, okay, that are possible first round picks for Dallas, and I want you to explain whether they help us day one or not.
Let's talk, baby.
So you was just about to say Henry Ruggs. Tell us about Henry Ruggs. Does he help you day one?
Henry Ruggs helps you day one. He can play the slot. You can put him at an X. You can fake the ball to Zeke, and he will run past the corner. The speed is that real. He helps you day one because if nothing else, he will take a top off of a defense. And he really reminds me of Terry McLaurin.
Sure.
From the Skins, kind of came out of nowhere, but that speed is just tricky. And he does like he does football things. He's not John Ross, okay? So
Sure.
he's not just like, really a true one-trick pony. Like, he actually can run routes. He actually plays physical at the point. Now, he's not big. He's not an amazing route runner. He's not Deebo Samuel after the catch.
Sure.
And he's not Judy on duty as far as a route runner. But he is my wide receiver too in this draft. I know people like the Oklahoma kid.
CeeDee Lamb. Yeah.
I like CD.
Yeah.
But give me Henry Ruggs.
I think
for my money.
I think if Ruggs makes it to Dallas, I think the best thing for him is that we got three receivers here already that can shoulder the load or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I think he's gonna come to the league, and him as a first year player is gonna be totally different than him as a third year player. I still think he got a lot of football to learn, but his 4.2 speed, like, you can definitely use that day one in some aspects. So I think that'll be a good use for him. Another name, Xavier McKinney from Alabama. Also, what you think about him? Is he going to help you day one?
Xavier McKinney helps you day one. Now,
okay,
he was my first pick in my first mock draft, I believe. And it's like people are like, "Oh, Xavier McKinney now," and I was like, "Nah, I've been told y'all about Xavier McKinney." Now, it's all gonna be dependent on how do you feel about him and Grant Delpit.
Sure.
In my first mock, I had Delpit going to Tampa Bay, which, like I've said, I don't care what anybody says. I was super high on Taylor Rapp. He's turned out to be like a nice young player in the league. But around draft time, and he got in shorts, and people like forgot that he actually was a really good football player, and they started doing things like mocking him, and he fell, and this, that, and the third. And like, I love Darnell Savage, but I just like what Taylor Rapp gives you. And it's the same way I feel about Grant Delpit. For some reason, Grant Delpit is a product of his own success in a sense, because he was so successful as a sophomore. And this year he had a few hiccups. Sure. Okay. If you want to point to the Clemson game and call Grant Delpit a shitty player, then that's on you. That's terrible.
The damn championship game when all the best players in the world on the same field.
When it's an NFL game.
Right.
Like, okay,
right.
He didn't make a tackle. Okay, great. But he still made plays like on a championship defense. So, and he comes from a great pedigree, and he comes from the SEC, and he's made plays over and over again, and he's willing to tackle. Like, I see this thing now, Voch is like, oh, Grant Delpit, he doesn't want to, he's not a great tackler. Well, no, neither is Eddie Jackson.
Sure.
But he's getting you 5 picks a year, so why wouldn't you, like, yeah, I'll be honest. I do want safeties that can play in the box. But we have that on this team.
And that's exactly where I'm about to go. So let's just talk about both of these guys, right? I think Delpit helps you day one. Because free safeties are rare in terms of rangy guys, in terms of natural instinct, reading quarterbacks, getting hands on the football, all that. That's something that Dallas ain't got right now. He comes in as a better free safety than Xavier Woods, in my opinion. But,
for sure.
But the
right
opposite
now,
of that,
he's better than Xavier Woods.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. But the opposite of that, I don't think Xavier McKinney helps you day one, because I think we got 3 strong safeties on this team already that kind of do what you like. Okay, so Xavier McKinney, he's more of a box safety. He's gonna do
For
more
sure.
right. So I think we got guys that can cover tight ends already. We got guys that can get in the box and tackle or whatnot. We got guys that can do his job. So in my opinion, I don't think Xavier McKinney comes in day one and fixes anything. Now I think if our safeties like leave and we need a safety, then you can bring in Xavier McKinney or whatever. But I don't think he's coming in and taking nobody's job day one. Now,
Voch.
Sure.
I think you're spot on.
Okay.
Like that honestly is something that I've thought about, but I think that you just hit it on the head. Listen, Xavier McKinney, that's exactly where he helps you. He's a poor man's Jamal Adams.
Sure.
That's not to say that he won't get his hands on the football,
Sure.
but you hit it on the head.
Sure.
Instincts. Okay?
Sure.
This game is about instincts, right? This game is about instincts. This game is about, making plays. This game is all of that. If you want that, I'm banking on Grant Delpit 120, 110%. Can turn, can run, comes from the pedigree of they are DBU.
Right.
But the sideline to sideline ball hawk is what you need.
Yeah.
And the size. Like Grant Delpit is a true 6'2", 6'3". That's different than a Xavier Woods who's on, let's be honest, 5'10", 5'11". And Xavier McKinney who doesn't have the arm length of a Grant Delpit. And hasn't made the plays that a Grant Delpit has made. Sure. If you put on Grant Delpit's best tape, a kid can have a down year or not as good of a year as he had as a junior. As a sophomore. That doesn't mean he's not a good player, that he can't ever get back to that position. Sure. And we got to think about, what does this team want to do? This team wants to take the football away. What does Grant Delpit do? He takes the football away. Sure. He's always around the ball. You know what I mean? So if I got a chance to get that, for sure. Oh, for sure.
How about this? Let me pause on this first round thing. We're going to come right back to it, but we on safeties right now. Let me just kind of hit you with a notion that I have on Dallas Cowboys and safeties, okay? I think that when we look at positions or whatnot, I think we should look at them in a more micro view and think about round spending or whatnot, right? Here's an example. Here's what I mean by this. Like, some people say, okay, we need a safety. Which round will we get safety? In my brain, in Voch's brain, if we don't get a safety in the first round, I don't want one. Okay?
I don't. So I mock. I said mock. Voch. I did it mock. So I mocked Antoine Winfield. Everybody loves Antoine Winfield.
Sure.
He can't get on the field in Dallas.
Yeah.
He won't. Antoine Winfield will never get on. He won't get on the field as a Cowboy.
Great player though.
Great player.
Yep.
Great player. But the size. So the problem with a Winfield is you have that on his team, and he's not that explosive.
Sure. That
you, you haven't seen. So a lot of the plays that he's made, I have seen the instincts. Yes, 100%. I've seen the instincts, right, Voch? But some of them tip balls. Some of them.
So watch this. I have a response ready for that, right? Because I've been attacked from the Antoine Winfield hive, right? When you watch Antoine Winfield get interceptions, they picking on him. They throwing directly at him. They throwing in his vicinity, and he makes a play, which is fantastic for him. When you see Grant Delpit make a play, he's on the right hash.
Come on,
and he gets to the opposite side of the field with his range and makes a play on the football. I think that's the difference. I think that's the difference.
When you coach and you've coached, when you see a safety come off that hash,
it's different.
It's just come on, man. It's different. When you see a safety break and you like, oh, he about to go get this joint.
Sure.
And that's what Joseph Sandberg is right on. Instincts and IQ. Now, I think that Antoine Winfield in the right situation where a team but we have that. Jeff Heath is Antoine Winfield. Gonna come down the blocks, gonna come down the box, gonna come make tackles the whole nine. But when I watch, first of all, I hate to do this, but I'm always gonna take a safety that's done it at a high level in the SEC versus a safety that is done decent and done well. I'm not going to shortchange Winfield, but that has done well in the Big Ten. I love Minnesota. Yeah. Hell, I love PJ Fleck and what he's done with that team. But I'm not going to – let's not get crazy, all right? Delpit's been playing big-time football, game in, game out, game in, game out, and doing it. So, and that's kind of where I think what's messed me up, Voch, is that he's just being – attacked, more or less, which is like, dude, this guy's a stud. Like, Okay, I can clean up some of these things, but at the end of the day, when you see a kid like Delpit come off that hash and go get it and go make those plays, we haven't had that.
Yeah.
I have not seen a Cowboy safety corner break on a football this whole year.
Sure.
Like break on a ball and just go get that joint. If anybody in the chat box, if you know Voch, you got it. You've probably seen every Cowboys play this year.
You not bullshitting twice.
When is the last time you've seen a defender, safety, help? I feel like Leighton Vander Esch has the best pass defense. I mean, it's just like I don't see our defense. I don't know if that's what Rashard is teaching. I don't know.
I'll tell you the last time I saw it, and it's going to segue perfectly into my next point. But before I do that, let me say something that I'm extremely pissed off about. Particularly some people in my chat box right now, but it's mostly everywhere. I never want us to get into the mindset to where we going, oh, I'll take anything but Jeff Heath. I don't want us to say that. Jeff Heath, he leading your team in interceptions right now. You know what I mean? So let's not bug on Jeff Heath to where you'll take any soul because you'll end up being worse. And now, you know what I'm saying? Now you're looking silly. Now you're looking goofy. You know what I mean? So let's not get into that bag, okay? But when we talk about safeties and my biggest point or whatever, right? Of, well, Voch, if we do such and such in round 1 and 2, can we get a safety in 3? No, I think that's a wasted pick. Why? Because I think that last year's draft should be accounted for as well. Because I think last year's draft was anticipating this big movement that we have in free agency. And the last time I seen somebody make plays on the football was Donovan Wilson.
Okay, that's fair.
Who's on our squad right now, right? So if you can get Grant Delpit, of course you'll take Grant over Donovan Wilson. Fine, you would do that. But there's no way you would take a 3rd or 4th round safety. Oh, no, you wouldn't. Like let's just run with Donovan. Let's just run with him and see what he can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just don't want us to get in that mindset of I'll take any ass scrub over Jeff Heath because that ain't smart. That ain't smart ball. That ain't smart roster building.
No, yeah, and it's too many. Listen, and you'll get to.
Hello. Foot. So I'd imagine Foots is having some technical difficulties over on his side of the situation there. He was just about to Foots.
No, I'm here, Voch.
Okay.
I must have lost connection. I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. My bad. Go ahead.
No. It's just it's too many other positions that this team can address, and we'll get into one of my pet casts. But I'm just like, I'm not. Listen, if I'm getting a safety in the 3rd round, I know he's not going to play.
Right.
And that goes back to my philosophy. Okay, last year we got production from one player. That's not a good draft, Cowboys fans.
Sure.
Whether it was injury, whether it's, okay, Tristan Hill had to grow up, whether Rob Marinelli, him, I don't know what the story is. I really don't care. At the end of the day, okay, so we have to get production. You see what I'm saying, Voch?
Yeah.
Production from younger players from our draft. That's a good draft, okay? Because there's going to be injuries. You're going to need to stick a guy in and say, damn, he's actually giving me something. Not, damn, we're stressed out because we have a 3-tech in Tristan Hill who's just not strong enough for the NFL.
Not yet. Not yet. Foots.
Not yet.
Okay.
Give him a year in the pro. I'll give you that, Voch.
Okay.
But you get my point, though.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to draft Antoine Winfield to be a backup, and I already have Donovan. I'm going to just play Donovan Wilson.
Sure.
Or pray that he gets better.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But at the end of the day, no. If you want a safety, draft him in the 1st round. Like you said. You want a safety, and you have your highest graded safety staring you in the face, draft him. Don't even draft. Listen, I know Kyle Duggar has a lot of fans. Can't chance it. If you have a safety that you like that can come off that hash and that can boogie, you draft him. Sure. I love Kyle Duggar. I love what he did, the Senior Bowl, the whole 9. I'm drafting Grant Delpit over Kyle Duggar any day of the week.
Yeah.
Any second of the week.
Yeah.
So That's that on that. Who else you got, Voch, man? You got me going. Now,
just
bro. Let's
just
roll.
just my last point on safeties or whatever. If you have an opportunity, take the set of traits that's more rare. You know what I mean? I'm more liable to draft a free safety with good range than a box safety because you can find 1,000 box safety. This team got 4 box safeties on the roster right now. You see what I mean? So
that's it.
We'll just do that and move on with that. AJ Epinesa from Iowa.
Ooh.
Does he help you day one?
So AJ Epinesa does something that I love the ends to do, and that is he plays the run very well.
Very well.
So he can play NFL strength. First of all, I love Iowa players. Period.
Sure.
They're just tough, man.
Sure.
They just come in the league and are tough.
Yeah.
Iowa just has a really good program. Okay. So AJ Epinesa helps you.
Yeah.
Is he gonna get 9 sacks next year? No. He's not. But is he going to play the run? Is he going to be disruptive? Can he come in a rotation and make plays? Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
He's not a flashy player.
At all. Oh, no.
But, Fuzz, let me just ask you this question, man. You know who led the league in sacks last year?
I don't.
Shaquille Barrett.
Yeah. Out in Tampa Bay.
19.5 sacks. And the year before that, it was Chandler Jones.
For sure.
I don't want the flashy player no more. Give me the guy that can get it done. Give me the guy that.
Well, I just want to play the run. Like I want an end that can play. Like the problem with ends that get up the field, and Randy Gregory had the problem. Hell, DeMarcus Ware had the problem until he went to Denver. He could just, on passing downs, they could just let him go play opposite Von Miller. Was depending on what we're running, you still have to play the run. Like teams still actually the trend is teams are actually starting to run the football more.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? The defenses and teams are what? They're now designed to, and drafted to do what? To stop big offenses and passing offenses and the whole nine. Yep. So a team like San Francisco,
they're small.
I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. Yeah.
They're small now. Yeah.
Well, San Francisco is brought a fullback back in the game. Huge check. I was watching I was watching a few games in the NFL. Now I'm like, man, this fullback is digging people out. He went to Princeton, and they're using him in a pro set, offset eye. Sure. Like, San Francisco's just playing old school football, and you still have to be accountable for the run. You get what I'm saying? And you have to set a certain way. You have to be able to stack and shed. And I think that's what the NFL game won't be too much for him.
Sure.
Won't be too much for him. So, yeah, I get it 100%. Yes, he helps you. Without a doubt. What are your thoughts on AJ?
He's in his man body right now. Hold on, let me just cuss this person out of the chat. Tyrone, what film was he trash in so I can watch it? Thing about Epinesa is he's in his man body right now. He could probably get a little more man body in him. But he can play left DN for you. But I think he's fantastic when he lines up in B gap and he picks on children on the inside. You know what I mean? And I just think, like, if he was only a 3-tech, like if he was just flat out 3-tech, he would probably be like second or the third best 3-tech in his class. It'll be between him and KingLombardi, in my opinion. But he plays defensive end, and he's just a solid player. He's a solid high floor player that gets it done. He got the production, got the numbers, he got sacks. They ain't pretty. They ain't quick. No. They ain't quick, twitchy Khalil Mack sacks, but I'm big, strong, overpower you, but I got it done sacks, and those count as sacks too. Plus, he's really good. He's really good versus the run. Plus, this defense could use some toughness. Even if he doesn't start, we need what 8 D linemen, 10 D linemen on game day or whatever. He can help you day one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like AJ Epinesa helps you for sure, and. To me, if you go watch the Nebraska game, and you'll see all you need to know about AJ Epinesa. He's just tough. Like, that's another issue, and that's for a whole nother podcast. That's for a whole nother video.
Sure.
This team got to get tougher, man. Like, we need dogs, bro. Like, we need dogs at the point we need go hard athletes, man. And he has a good motor. He finishes. He stands those tackles up. He's not. He reminds me of Ryan Kerrigan. Okay, never gonna lead the league in sacks, but you're gonna wake up and he didn't play 9 years in the league at a high level. So,
Sure.
yes, he helps you.
Let me get the hell out this chat box for it.
Yeah. I see it's getting turned up. Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know why people don't like Delpit, but dog, like, he's your starter day one on his team.
The best thing about it, though, Tyrone Church, I'm willing to listen to anybody's opinion. I just need to know that you've done the homework first. So please send me whatever film you was watching, and I'll send you the film I've been watching. I actually made a video, so you can go watch that. I don't know if you got a YouTube channel, but just send me the film where
your Delpit film was great, bro. I watch all you do. You spot on. He has flaws. He's a playmaker, bro.
I just want Tyrone to send me the film where he was trash at, and then we'll go from there.
Right. Grant Delpit is better than Xavier Woods. It's just you got to understand. Okay, let me just stay here real quick, Voch, because
sure.
We do this. So Xavier Woods will never have the measurables that a Grant Delpit has. That's number one.
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
You can't teach 6'3".
Right.
That's number one. All right. No, Delpit, they're not even the same player. They're nothing alike. Xavier Woods is coming down. He's going to crunch you. Delpit will turn and run. He's trying to take the ball away. He's more Eddie Jackson. Now, he's not physical, but if you watch Eddie Jackson play, you're pretty much watching Grant Delpit, just not quite as elusive.
Right.
Okay? So, again, he comes in day one and he's your starting free safety. Like, you can't teach 6'3" that can move that well, that can turn his hips like that. So, again, that's you guys can argue with Voch in the chat box all day about Xavier Woods. I love Xavier Woods. He ain't no damn Grant Delpit. Grant Delpit, it was a play on the sideline where X had a chance to get a pick. Grant Delpit picking that football. And he could have toe tapped. He just makes plays, bro. This high-level ball we talk about, this apples and oranges. Like, that SEC football different. It's different, bro.
Speaking of SEC football, so back to the players that could possibly help you day one. Of course, we got to wait on free agency to kind of dictate or whatever, but we're going straight to the SEC. SEC is well represented in the first round of draft this year. C.J. Henderson and Christian Fulton, cornerbacks. Henderson from Florida, Fulton from LSU. Foots, what do you think of those guys? Do they help you day one? Either one of them. So
let's talk about Fulton for a second. Another guy who has been victimized by his championship game. Right. I get it.
Right.
However, like, going against that type of talent, that's going to happen when you play cornerback. I thought Fulton had a great year.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would, so for my money, Voch, and I want to get your opinion here before I continue to go when it comes to Henderson. By the way, I like Henderson just a tad bit more.
Sure.
But I like that Florida defense, actually. That Florida team was sneaky. But thing about Henderson is, okay, nobody by the third, fourth game, nobody was throwing at Derek Stingley. So somebody had to get beat and picked on. Clemson was like, okay, we're not going to try Derek Stingley. He's too good. He's probably the best cornerback prospect, since. I do believe this. I do think Derek Stingley is the best prospect I've seen since Patrick Peterson. Like, he is that good of a corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been following him. I've been following Derek Stingley, LSU, for like the last 4 years since he was a junior in high school. Like, that's how good Stingley is. So
sure.
Christian Fulton just isn't that good. He's just not as good of a player. So somebody's going to get picked on. But is he an upgrade over Cheeto? Possibly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like,
he got
Could you draft him and be fine? Yeah. Fulton has some great film, dog. Like, great film.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think our big conversation is that if we don't bring Byron back, we're going to be stuck with Cheeto or whatever. But this is my big thought about this though, right? Like is Cheeto a bad player, or is that Chris Richard's teaching or whatever?
Bruh, that's what I don't
Is
know.
Byron bad at getting turnovers, or is it that Chris Richard don't want his players looking for the football or whatever? What's the real answers here?
So that's what I don't know. I don't know what they're being. I don't know what they've been taught, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. Yeah, Nene. So everybody is like, wow, that's a bold statement when it comes to Stingley and Patrick Peterson. Dog, Stingley is the truth, bruh. Derek Stingley to me, yeah, like that's just how I feel. I don't know, Voch. I don't know how much you watched of Derek Stingley, but like, bruh, for him to be a freshman, come in and just take a side away, that's huge, bruh.
The only bad game Stingley had was versus Van Jefferson in Florida, and that's because Van Jefferson is a true route runner. But every other game though, every other
he
game
had that as a freshman.
yes, the Stingley locking shit. But look, that's because Jefferson is a technician or whatever. So you put a technician versus a rookie, that makes sense. But
yeah, he gonna get you.
But you
I
ain't.
saw that game.
But you ain't just out talenting Derek Stingley. Good luck to you.
Oh no. You can't run away from him.
Sure.
Like Clemson saw that in the championship game. I forget who they had out there. He just like that. But anyway, back to this thing. So I just don't know. Yeah, like I've seen Cheeto be good, and that's what bugs me. I've seen Cheeto be really good, Voch.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm just like, I'm with you. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I don't know. Now I have made up my mind. I do not want to get rid of Byron Jones. And I'm going to tell you why.
Because he's good.
Right.
He's fantastic. Like, and people don't throw
really
at him.
Good.
And people don't
he's
throw
really
at him.
good.
Sure. Right.
Like, I know you guys want interceptions.
Sure.
But Byron Jones is really good.
Sure.
Like, really good.
I just think sometimes fans get ungrateful, man. They get ungrateful and you don't know what you got till it's gone. But it's my one thing I hate about Cowboys. Like, we would let go of our good players just to get washed players that some other team let go. That's what I don't understand. Like every time Bleacher Report says this player got cut, the same people that don't want to pay Byron, like, yo, Voch, what do you think about this guy? Like, no, I ain't trying to save money. I want the best players.
Dog, he's missed one game in like 5 years. And you want to get rid of Byron Jones. Like, I know he doesn't intercept the ball the way you guys want to, and I get it. But dog, he's really good.
It's hard to intercept the ball when they're not throwing at you. Cheeto should be the one leading his team in interceptions because they keep throwing at his ass. Him and AB. How often? How many times have we watched Cowboys games and then Byron finally gets thrown at? We go, yo, they haven't thrown at Byron all this game.
like, bro, they don't throw at him, bro.
Sure.
Like, they don't chance him. Like, he's like you said, he's really good, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he's really good, and so To me, I'm not going corner one. Just because I'm willing to give Cheeto another year. And I just have higher position. Like, there's not a corner that good. If I'm going to go anywhere in the secondary, I'm going safety. But there's not a corner that good, Voch, like, so.
I don't think we have a choice, though. I don't think we have. See, the only corner in this draft that can come in and be better than Byron day one is going to be gone by the 5th pick or so. Jeffrey Okudah.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. But we're in a situation where if Byron and AB walk and Cheeto and Jordan Lewis are your first corners, not only do you have depth, but you ain't got nobody to play nickel neither. So you're going to have to sign a corner. So I think we're in a situation. To be fair, Byron got more leverage than Cooper. Really? Honestly? You would think so?
Yeah, he does. Teams want. So it's funny. The Eagles always rank on us, but they want our best two players. Like, well, two of our best players. Because, like, the Eagles really want Byron Jones, and the Eagles really want Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
And they're, like, prepared to make the deal.
And you know what? That should say a lot about you that the players that we're debating whether we want or not, every other team just waiting on us to cut them. They wait on us to not sign them.
Oh, the Skins want Byron Jones bad.
Sure.
Like, because you got to understand, when you, like, and this is what I told Skins fans about Josh Norman. Like, cornerback play isn't gonna make your it's not gonna make or break your defense.
Right.
You
But you
guys
need
got
it.
to understand that
Right.
part of things. It's not gonna make or break your defense. So if I'm drafting a defender, I'm drafting AJ Epinesa because I need my trenches in order.
Sure.
Cornerback play is, when they signed Josh Norman, their defense still sucked. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I can live if you telling me that I add Grant Delpit and in the second round, Auburn D tackle. What's my guy's name?
Kinlaw.
Now Kinlaw probably.
No. Shit. Derek Brown. Auburn D tackle. Derek Brown. Yeah.
What's my man? Not the other one.
There's
the one that plays
Marlon Davis.
Marlon Davison, which
that's my pet cat right there.
Very
that's one of
my lucky if he's there.
That's one of my pet cats right
that's
there.
That's one of your pet cats. All right, so we wait. But if I could get Davidson in
the second round, yeah.
In the second, which it'd be now we're cooking. Hey, what's up, Joe Rod? Joe Rod got a D tackle that I like too.
Who you got, Joe Rod?
But the whole point is,
go ahead.
Joe got a D tackle that I was watching the other day.
What's cool?
But there's just other needs that this team can address. But listen, I'm not getting rid of Cheeto or because Fulton or Henderson. I just don't think they're that much better. This cornerback class isn't super deep to where it's like, oh yeah, we could just bring a guy in and he's gonna start. But I'm telling you now, Grant Delpit starts day one. Nobody in this chat box, nobody in the world, I trust my eyes, nobody is going to tell me that, nobody's going to tell me that
Byron that Byron can't play, right?
Or that Delpit can't play. Nobody's going to tell me that Delpit can't play. I don't care what you say.
Yeah. That's just chat box banter that I need to get out of. I ain't trying. But let's move on though. That was a fantastic. What's our time, man? Because I feel like we've been doing this not long at all. All right, cool. We good on time. Let me ask you a question first. We're gonna move on to pet cats. How many of them you got?
So I have 3 pet cats. I have 3 pet cats.
Okay, I got 4. So we're gonna start with me first then. I talked about Marlon Davidson, right? And this is my criteria for a pet cat is I feel like they can't be like early first round guys, whatever, because that's everybody pet cat. Because if it was up to me, like I love Isaiah Simmons. You know what I mean? I love Becton from Louisville or whatnot. Like those, like Kinlaw, those would clearly be pet cats or whatever, but they're the top of the top. They're everybody's pet cat. So but Marlon Davidson, we was just talking about Marlon Davidson. Could we get him in the second, man? He's so fantastic, and I don't anticipate him being there at 51. If we do get Marlon Davidson in the second round, because there may be a run on receivers, there may be a run on running backs, a run on second round corners, which is very possible. If Marlon Davidson somehow makes it to 51, I'm going to get up and do a choreographed hump dance. He's fantastic. He's a Senior Bowl guy. Got hurt at the Senior Bowl, but he did pretty good day one. Check that video out. He's another guy that can play outside and 3-tech for you. So
and he's so good against the run. He's just stout, man.
Yeah.
He's stout.
Quick.
He's very, very
Quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Auburn's defense was nasty this year. But give me one of your pet cats, my guy.
All right, so I have tight end Bryson Hopkins. More of a third round guy.
Purdue, right?
Yeah. Man, I love this kid. He just has a feel for getting open, number one.
Great route runner. Yeah, great route runner.
Yeah, great route runner, but he's physical in the size.
Sure.
I've been wanting to get it. So, of course, now it's off season, so we hear stuff about Jason Witten come back. It's over. That ship is sailed, and I don't want Jason Witten on this team. He's a Hall of Fame tight end. I get it, but I don't want Jason Witten on the Cowboys.
Sure.
Like I just don't, and I don't know how good. Like I like Jarwin, I just don't know how good he is. I don't know how tough he is. But when I look at a player like Bryson Hopkins, I think he's that still that we talk about that we need to get. He just finishes catches. Like when I look at Jarwin, it's kind of push him, and he's just kind of soft. You hit him and he just kind of But when I look at Hopkins, man, he's just a really really stout tight end. Catches the ball well, blocks well. He's not overly fast. He's not overly athletic, but he just does everything, and that's one of my pet cats.
Now
You guys check him out, Bryson Hopkins.
I do think he's great receiving the ball. He's a natural route runner, natural catcher. He does have toughness. I agree there. I don't think he's a great blocker at all. I actually hate him blocking. I went ugh. I threw up a little bit. I ain't like it. But in the National Football League in 2020, you ain't gotta be.
You don't have to be a mauler.
You ain't gotta be a great blocker. There you go. There you go. You can just kind of get a hat on a hat and just survive. And I think he got enough size to do that.
I just think he's tough.
Sure.
Maybe that's the word. I just think he's a tough kid.
Sure.
Those tight ends have to be. So
sure.
Yeah, that's one of mine.
The rest of my pet cats really ain't corresponding with Dallas needs or whatever. I got a receiver. I got a running back. And
Let me hear him. Let me just hear him. Just give me a quick breakdown, Vacho. I know we.
Laviska Shenault from Colorado,
oh my God,
who's fantastic. I wish we could make some room for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he's another guy that won't make it to 51, but I think 17 is a little high for him. But he's Yak guy. If you think about what Deebo Samuel did in the Super Bowl, that is what Shenault would do for you. He could do quick game things. He can do like slants, hitches or whatever, and he'll turn that into yak yards or whatever. He's super yak guy, kind of like CD Lamb or whatever, how he catches the ball. He's just hard to tackle. Laviska Shenault from Colorado is another guy that's very hard to tackle. Plus, he's probably going to run like a 4.4 in the combine this week, so tune in for that. Van Jefferson, I really like route runners when we're talking about receivers. Van Jefferson from Florida or whatnot. He's the best route runner in the class. And I know Jerry Jeudy's getting the name best route runner in the class because he's at the top of the draft. He has the clout or whatnot. Van Jefferson is the best route runner in this class. He's comparable to Amari Cooper, and I'm not saying that lightly. I'm going to do a film session on him, but you could probably get Van Jefferson in the 4th round or so.
Third round, yeah. Possibly. Knock on him is the speed for sure.
Absolutely,
but
absolutely.
The route running is,
and like I said earlier, he was the only one to beat up on Stingley, but that was because he was able to separate because he was so technical.
He has his feet. His feet are next to none now, like you said, whereas Cooper has that top end speed. Jefferson doesn't have that. No.
Right. And this class is full of running backs, man. I know I talked about Zach Moss earlier, but he ain't really one of my pet cat guys. I just really like him. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire,
yeah, for sure,
from LSU, he is so. He's 6'4", 270. Because they had those runs. He really like 5'8", 215 or whatever. But I called him 6'4", 270 Clyde because they had those run. Calls him 6'4". I actually got my. Hold on, let me hit my button. What?
Clyde is 6'4", 270.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I call him 6'4", 270 Clyde. But talk about something like he's not impressive physically at all. Like, he's not big 40-time guy, big da-da-da, boom, boom. But if you watch his game versus Alabama, what Tyrone there, you want to talk about the Alabama game? If you watch Clyde versus Alabama, how he runs over one of the better defenses in the country or whatever, just easily gets 130 some odd rushing yards, easily catches 7 catches for 90 some yards or whatever, 4 touchdowns versus something. You know what I mean? He just had one of the most impressive running back performances I've ever seen. And I know we got Tony. I know Tony is probably more that guy that we're going to be throwing the ball to in terms of our running back sets or whatever. But man, I'm just such a fan of young Clyde, man. We'll probably never get him. But he's one of my pet cats as well, man.
Nah, Clyde is he's just a football player. That's what I'm saying. Some of these guys ain't gonna look good in shorts, and they ain't gonna run the numbers, and they ain't gonna look good when they stand there. But they just football players. Clyde, his body lean, he never goes down on first contact. His control. He's just an excellent football player that's played at a high level.
Yep.
So I got plenty, but I'm gonna just go one more.
Sure.
And somebody is crazy because somebody in the messenger, and it's true. Caleb Von Chasen, to me.
Does he help you day one? Does he help you day one?
if you a good defensive coordinator, you do.
I love Caleb Chase.
Because, bruh, people were like really mad when I mocked him in Dallas. And I'm like, dog,
He's
are
fantastic.
you dumb?
He's fantastic.
Like, bro, he is so twitchy.
Yep.
Okay? But now, does he help you against the run like a no, not like AJ Epinesa, no. Mm-hmm. But he's also not a sucker. Like
right.
He will come up and hit you.
Right.
Like you can use so the thing is you can use him so many different ways.
Yes.
Cause he's just a freaking athlete, dog. Mm-hmm. Like he's an athlete. Like I would have no problem with Dallas because he is a guy who can get on a run and get you like 12, 13, 14 sacks a year, end up with a high tackle number and have picks just because he's all over the field.
Yeah.
And he can run so well.
Yeah. Super raw to me, though. Super raw.
Very raw.
Yeah.
Very raw, but
length, quickness, burst, explosive, bend. But I love him for his effort. Like his effort is like when you watch film, like look, and when you watch film on like Chase Young, right? You'll see Chase Young jogging a little bit. Like if he feel like he can't get a tackle, he'll just stop running and just kind of jog or whatever. Caleb Chase will effort his way into chasing a run down backside. And I think that's where he helps in the run game. He's always going to run into tackles that are going to be bigger and more powerful than him. But him just hanging in there, his effort and just hanging in there is what keeps him alive in these run plays.
Well, he can play in space.
Sure.
Like how many guys can put their hand in the dirt but then come and carry it? Like he can carry a running back out the backfield.
Sure.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Then he can go on third round and get around that tackle. On third down and get around that tackle. Mm-hmm. Like, Caleb Vaughn can play in space. He can play as a stand-up linebacker.
Sure.
For sure. You just got to coach him up. Like there's this misnomer that development stops in the league, and that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, have a plan with these guys and coach them.
Sure.
If you see a freakish athlete, right? Like, you see a great athlete, coach him. I see Caleb Chase bro, and I see him staring me in the face. And if I'm not in love with Del Pitt as an organization, and I don't like what I got, and I don't want to draft a receiver, draft him, bro. You draft Caleb Chase he comes in, and immediately he comes in on your third round package and your NASCAR package, and you just want to get to the quarterback, and he helps. Robert Quinn one side, put DeMarcus Lawrence at 3 tech, and just go get after the quarterback.
If Chase is there at 17, we're going to have a real life conversation, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
real life conversation.
Cowboys fans was really mad at me, and I was like, dog, we don't know. See, and this is what the thing is. They've been thinking how.
Because they want a safety is why they're mad at you.
Well, they've been thinking, and they've been thinking how Marinelli drafts and what he likes in his ends.
Yeah.
We don't know what Mike Nolan want to do.
Yeah.
He may see Alden Smith. He might see. Listen, before Alden Smith was being dumb, well, he had those issues in college too, but
sure,
he was a really good player, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, and did Mike Nolan draft Alden Smith? I don't know. He had some good defenses though.
Alden Smith was super talented, but he was absolutely gun under the seat guy, get arrested in the mall guy,
for sure.
Kidnap somebody guy, and we knew that. But they're similar kind of guys in terms of natural talent, in terms of like length, things like that, just natural rush ability. They're very similar in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So look, pull up then. I like that name on the chat box. You're right. These guys. So is Chase 23? No. So you agree with me exactly. So
let them grow.
Because they're just because you draft them, you still got to coach them. Like the brain isn't fully developed till you're 25, so they can still get better. And like Voch said, so what happens is when it comes to white rushers, we always talk about high motor.
Yeah. Because
they can't bend like a Chase Young or a Caleb Vaughn. But trust me, Caleb Vaughn has a hell of a motor, dog. He plays on fire all the time. Mm-hmm. And we need that and he's a rough rider. He's a dog, bro. Yep. He's a rough rider. Yep. He will come up and knock you go watch full game tape and him mixing it up on tackles. It isn't like Taco where he just want to stick his head in there sometimes. Nah, bro. Like he wants to get physical, and that's what I'm saying. So those are my pet cats, watching. Man, this was a hell of a show. Good God,
Good
boy.
stuff, man. Good stuff. You want to answer chat box questions for like 10 minutes, then we'll just get up out of here?
Yeah, let's talk. Let's answer these questions for sure.
Chat box, we giving y'all a smooth 10 minutes to get y'all's Q&As in. We didn't load the phones today. I just ain't, because when me and Foots talk, we ain't got time for like everybody else to be talking. Like we got a lot of stuff that we got to get out. So now, chat box, for a smooth 10 minutes, we're going to answer your questions, okay? And then we're gonna wrap this thing up. So chat box. Nene blowing kisses to somebody. I don't know how to feel. Okay, that's to April. Okay, cool. Y'all can hate. Okay, cool. Diggs or McKinney in the first round? In my opinion, I don't think Diggs is a first round cornerback. Foots, what you got on that?
Yeah. If you're talking about
Henderson and
Diggs, little brother, nah.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs' little brother, nah.
Right.
He's actually a converted receiver to corner.
Yeah.
Nah. He's the third round guy for me. Don't look at these mock drafts. No, some of these guys are getting pushed up. You'll wake up and they'll still be on the board come draft day.
Right. How you feel about Jedrick Wills? I think he's good. I'm dropping a film session on him tomorrow, maybe. Depends. I don't know. Fuzz, you wanna how are we approaching trading in this draft? You trying to move up to get some better talent? You trying to move back and get some picks, or you just want to stay put and just draft the guy?
I want to draft a good player, bro. I don't want to I don't. So here's the thing. If you grade Henry Ruggs, because you have receivers in your building, and you grade Henry Ruggs as a first-round talent, you draft him. You know what I mean, Voch? Like, don't trade away from a good player because you worry about that other stuff later. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need a good player. We didn't have a first-round pick last year, and it shows. We didn't have a first-round talent. Like, Tony Pollard really saved our draft, or else it was a complete botch of a draft because Donovan Wilson couldn't get on the field, and we don't know what McGovern just wasn't healthy.
Sure.
So don't trade away from me. Don't trade away from a good football player, Voch.
Yeah.
If he's good at football, wherever listen. If it's a left tackle that falls, draft his ass, bro.
Facts.
Figure the rest out.
I'm going to keep my pick at 17 and just draft because I don't want to be so bullish to give away a third round pick. Because if you can't get Henry Ruggs at 17, you may get a guy like Hamler from Penn State in the third round, who's probably going to also run a 4.2 or like a high 4.3 or whatever. Not the same kind of player, but Michael Gallup was a third round pick that you just don't want to trade. You don't want to give up guys. I'm not a big fan of giving up guys. So no, I'm not trying to move around. I'm not trying to move anywhere.
Somebody asked a good one, Voch.
What is that? Go ahead.
Sean Jones, Ruggs, or Delpit. What would you do?
Ruggs or Delpit? I'm taking Delpit because I got 3 receivers that can play right now, and I got 0 free safeties that have good range right now, and it's hard to find free safeties with good range. Plus, there aren't any second or third or fourth round safeties that I feel good about that have good range that I would like to take immediately and like plug in and play. But there's about 4 rounds worth of receivers that you can play day one. So in that scenario, I'm taking the free safety.
Yeah, I'm taking Grant Delpit because he grades out as a better football player.
Yeah, that too.
That's not to say that Grant Delpit is a great.
Ruggs.
Ruggs is an excellent football player. We just talked about how good of a football player he is, but I look at Grant Delpit and say he's a better football. Like if you had this conversation last year, it is just funny how people really forget. If you had this conversation last year about Grant Delpit, it would be like, damn, there's no way he falls to the Cowboys. He's so good. And the year happens, and you kind of like, oh. And then you're like, oh,
right.
No. Like, there's reasons to still love Grant Delpit. The same thing, all right, and I'm so serious about this. The same thing happened when it came to Mika Fitzpatrick.
Sure.
And Jalen, not Jalen Ramsey. He got hurt this year.
Florida State. Derwin James.
Derwin.
Right.
Dang, names always run together.
Right.
And Derwin, it was like, oh, where do you play him? Oh, he plays some corner. He's kind of stiff. And all he did his rookie year was just make play after play after play after play. And I remember, like, dog, I prayed Dallas draft Derwin James. So, anyway.
I got a comment that I kind of want to, me and Foots can kind of help y'all with the education in terms of how this draft is. Pull up then, says getting the fourth best receiver at 17 is terrible value. I just want you to understand that Henry Ruggs is the fourth best receiver in this class because this receiver class is pretty filthy. Like if Ruggs was in last year's class, he'll probably be a little higher than that. So let's just not say just because he's the fourth best receiver that he's not a great receiver. Like you can get to sixth best receiver and still have a starting first round level talent receiver. That's just how this draft pans out. So Ruggs.
Somebody also said Derwin James had a down year last year, and I was like, bro, he didn't play last year.
He was hurt. He was hurt.
Yeah, what are you talking about? So I mean, not to put you on Front Street, but yeah. Derwin James didn't play last year, so
I'm trying to put him on.
He did have of college. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He did have a bad. Okay, I'll correct myself. He did have a down year his last year in college.
Okay.
And he played amazing his first year in the pros, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just crazy to me.
I think he was dealing with an injury his last year at Florida State.
I think he was too.
I think so.
I think he was too.
It was so long ago. If Simmons miraculously drops to 12, well, if he miraculously drops to 12, then you get an even better player at 17 because that means some wild shit didn't happen with quarterbacks, some offensive linemen and then got moved up or whatever. If Isaiah Simmons fall to 12, then we getting a gangster at 17. So I'm still not trading back. So hang tight. What else y'all got? What's more important, backup quarterback or backup left tackle? I'm not trying to find no backup quarterbacks in this draft, man. If that get hurt, I'm just getting the first overall pick next year, and we just gonna move on with our life, dog.
No bull, bro. So definitely backup left tackle.
Oh man, freaking Jalen Hurts ain't gonna save you if that get hurt. You know. I'm
not drafting a quarterback this year. Too many needs.
I'm only taking 2 more, so y'all get him in. Maybe it's something.
We're not talking about Randy Gregory. This is draft talk, y'all.
Boy, Randy would help though, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would. He really would.
Have you watched film on Julian Okwara from Notre Dame, Foots?
So I have.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on him first, Voch, before I go?
I think he's pretty strong for a slimmer guy. I'll give him that. He could probably use a little more polish. He's a tough player. I don't think he'll be there at 51. I think he's probably gonna be like a late first round guy, Joe. I don't hate him.
So he has the burst, but it's not Caleb Von burst.
That's what it is. Yeah.
He has the bend. Like he's just. I wouldn't draft him at 17, but he won't be there at 51. Mm-hmm. Like that's the best way I could describe him.
Yeah.
Like he is good, but I'm not drafting him because there'll be better players. Like he's not a better player than Caleb Von Chasen.
Sure.
But I like him. And he won't be there in a second. If he was there at 51, I'd draft him. You go safety, you go him. You're good.
That's
sure.
good. Yeah, I just don't think he's gonna be there. That's another play. Cause so look, okay, how about this? Because there's a crop of players to where 17 is too high for them, but they won't be there at 51. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
So let me get back to you. We was talking about not trading back. With that information on your mind, right? Does trading back to like 20-something interest you? Because that's where guys like Chenault would be there, where Marlon Davidson will be there. Now, I don't want to trade back. I want to get the best player at 17. But there's a crop of players that I really like between 20 and 30, whatever. Jalen Reagor's one of those guys from TCU that I really like. You know what I mean? So does that change your mind at all, knowing the caliber of guy that's not good enough for 17 but too high for 51?
Hey, Joe Rod, you feel free to jump in on Okwara too. I know you are Notre Dame guy. So, to me, Voch, I would have to see who's on the board.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trading away from a good player just to try to. Like, what am I getting? If I'm getting a 4th round pick, like Cowboys fans, remember that we're not that far away.
Sure.
So if I'm getting a 4th round pick who's not gonna play, then no, I'm gonna stand there and draft. But now, honestly, I do more than your guy from Auburn. I do see a chance that Julian would be there in the 5th, in the like he has more of a chance of falling than being there in the 51 than the D tackle. So I'll give you that, Voch, but I just don't want to trade away from good players, bro.
Yep,
I just don't.
I agree. I'm
hanging
in there.
If I want to draft Chenault, then I'm just gonna draft Henry Ruggs if he's there, because Henry Ruggs will be there.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of talk about Jerry Jeudy falling out the top 10, which is alarming to me. But if you think about it, is it really? 3 quarterbacks are gonna go.
Sure.
Chase.
3 in the possible, really. Really 3 in the possible.
Right, 3, bro. Yeah. I would not be surprised if Jordan Love goes top 10.
Yep.
People laugh at me now, but I would not be surprised if a team makes themselves fall in love, because you see it every year with quarterbacks. Like, dog, J.P. Losman went in the 1st round, bro.
Sure.
So I would not be surprised if Jordan Love went top 10.
3 QBs, you have a possible 5 offensive tackles that can go. Possibly.
Mekhi Becton is on the freaking rise.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
He's probably going to be a top 10 player
Absolutely.
before it's all said and done.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Bama kid? What do you think about, the other tackle from Georgia? Okay.
Iowa, and the last riser is Josh Jones from Houston, had a big Senior Bowl, so he's been getting some considerations too. So if you get 4 quarterbacks, 5 offensive tackles,
it's not out the realm, bro.
Chase, Okuda, the Derek Brown, Isaiah, that puts you at about 13, and we ain't said nothing about receivers yet.
And we ain't said Jerry Jeudy name, bro.
Right.
Like, bro, a team. So let do that. Let's just, man, we giving y'all overtime, bro.
I can do it right.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
I can write this
we
shit down
giving y'all
right now.
overtime, man, and I love it, Voch, because I love linking up my man. Let's think about this. Joe Burrow's a lot. Okay. Whatever anybody on the internet says, I don't care. Tua Tagovailoa is going top 5. Book it, and probably will end up going top 3, because I do believe where there's smoke, there's fire when it comes in. When it comes to this Detroit talk, okay? Okuda's a top 10 player, okay? Now, where he goes, if somebody comes up, cool. Now, let's talk about the tackles.
Give me 30 seconds. Hold on. Let me go. Boom, boom. I just wrote all this down in seconds. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 13 locks at top 13. So
that's what I'm saying, bro. It's crazy.
So that'll be Tua, Joe, Justin, and Jordan. Those are your quarterbacks. Thomas, Wills, Becton, Wirfs, and Jones possibly. Those are your tackles. Okuda, Chase. We talking about Derek Brown and Isaiah Simmons. So that puts us at 13 guys. We ain't said nothing about receivers. We ain't said nothing about Kinlaw. It's possible, man. You don't know what the hell gonna happen.
Bruh,
you don't know what's
the
gonna happen.
best thing that can happen
15,
is
15, 16.
You really do want Jerry Jeudy to fall.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
You want, because, hey, Isaiah Simmons could be, now I don't think he'll get past Tampa. I don't think there's in no way that he gets past
you know what's gonna happen for us?
Oakland.
You know what's gonna happen for us?
Talk to me.
Henry Ruggs gonna go out that bitch and run a 4.20,
and
somebody gonna overdraft him. Somebody gonna overdraft Henry Ruggs, and it's gonna bump everybody down one more time for us. That's what's gonna happen. Watch it happen.
And what people gotta always remember: tackles and quarterbacks have higher priority over these skill guys that y'all love. Sure. You want to know why? Because there aren't a lot of good tackles in the league.
Sure.
Like, there aren't a lot of good offensive tackles. How many good left tackles are there in the league? Not a lot. There aren't a lot of good quarterbacks in the league. There's about to be an exodus at quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger on his way out. Drew Brees on his way out. Phillip Rivers won't be with the Chargers anymore. You see what I'm saying? There's an exodus. So they're always going to get pushed up. And as much as I'm a Dak critic, I'll admit it. But damn it, he can get the job done with the Henry Ruggs and with some of these players that are gonna fall. So, I agree. Hell, who's to say that Jerry Jeudy won't fall, bro?
Sure.
Like, we don't know what's gonna happen. That's the beauty of the draft. Like Voch just gave you 13 names. Was Simmons in one of your names, Voch?
Yeah, Simmons was in the top 13.
All right, so Simmons was in one of your names. Cool. Okay, so if Simmons is in one of your names, all right, let's say a team really covets Delpit. All right, so now we're at 14. Dog, that's 4 picks away, and we have not mentioned Jerry Jeudy's name.
I haven't mentioned Kinlaw, so we
So that's 3 picks away. Excuse me. That's 3 picks away if we're at 14. Kinlaw is gonna go before Jerry Jeudy.
So Kinlaw is at 15. So now we at 16, right? We just at 16.
Dog, we're about to draft Jerry Jeudy right now.
And we haven't mentioned a receiver yet. We sitting at number 16. So who's
like that's what I'm telling you. Like, and people keep saying, okay, so Jerry Jeudy to Denver. No, their offensive line sucks. Sure. Okay, the kid that they drafted 2 years ago was a complete bust. They're going line. You can book it. They think they have something in Drew Lock. They are going to draft the lineman. They like Cortland Sutton. Oh, okay. Cool. Don't get your hope. I'm trying to tell you, like, there's a strong possibility Jerry Jeudy could be staring Dallas in the face.
Something happens every year that we weren't prepared for. You know what I mean? Somebody rises that we weren't prepared for. Kind of give me 4 guys you think could be a guy that's gonna go early top 15 or so, just top 15, top 16 or whatever, that you think that we wouldn't go, oh, I didn't think he was gonna be there. For example, like Jalen Reagor could run a 4.25. And somebody could be impressed with him. Or maybe one of these corners, right? We talk about Fulton. We talk about Henderson. Somebody could like Fulton and Henderson. What's really going to happen, and it happened a couple years ago with Cornerback or whatever, is you got so many receivers. You can have a receiver on the board, and somebody's going to say, we're going to run out of defensive tackles immediately. But we got 4 rounds of receivers I like. Let's just take this D. Let's take this D tackle now, right? And your receivers keep falling or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of shit could happen.
I'm gonna give you one name.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna tell you somebody who could. There's a strong possibility he could get overdrafted.
I'm about to cuss. Go ahead though, because I just thought of one. God damn, Foots.
Hey, bro. I really love this, bro. I'm about to tell you.
Go ahead, Foots.
I'm about to tell you somebody right now who I think could get overdrafted.
Go ahead.
And that's your guy, Oklahoma, CeeDee Lamb.
Sure.
I got a feeling.
Okay, sure.
That CeeDee Lamb. I got a feeling that Oakland could do something stupid.
Okay, that might happen.
CeeDee Lamb.
That might happen. Foots, you remember watching the draft last year and Cleveland Farrell went number 4 and you was like, what the hell is life about? When Cleveland Farrell went number 4. Somebody gonna like Yatir Gross-Matos. Somebody gonna like Gross-Matos from Penn State. Somebody gonna like him and overdraft him, Foots. He's a late.
I'm telling you,
he's a late first guy to me, but somebody gonna like him and take him, Foots.
Bruh, these tackles getting this buzz out of nowhere, like this is gonna be crazy. Like I'm telling you, and you've been on it, bro. You've been on Mekhi Becton. I will give you that. Yeah. And now all of a sudden he's just been the guy. Was like, damn, what happened to Andrew Thomas? Mm-hmm. Damn, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, there's all these teams could very well draft a tackle and be like great and be fine. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, just something to look at, man. This is really going to be a draft, and we don't care what the league is doing.
Oh no. 17 is all that matters. 17 is all that matters. Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting for sure.
Fuzz, this was fun, man.
Oh my God,
it's fantastic. I don't know why we don't do it more, but maybe the fact that we don't do it a lot makes them fantastic when we do it. I don't know the formula, but we gotta do some more. Plug everything, Sarah. Your YouTube, any other content you're doing, your music. Just plug everything you got.
Man, you guys check me out. Foots Times Coles. I'm putting in the chat box right now. Foots Times Coles. You guys check that out everywhere on all the socials. IG. Check it out on Spotify. That's where the music is. And then you guys know me, Cowboys Nation TV. I think Voch now has me excited. I'm going to go rate receivers. That's going to be my next video, receivers. And I'll be doing a mock draft. I'll probably do another 3-round. The 3-rounder I did was cool because it's the closest to the realistic that I can get. I did a 7-round, which it only ended up being 6 for us. So, it'll be interesting, man, to just see how all of this plays out, man. But I can honestly say, man, talking football with y'all, not just with me and Vacho, but with y'all, it's good stuff, man. The debates, these are the true football fans. If you wanted that draft, I don't care what anybody say. I've heard people say, why would I want to know about players? And it's like, dog, this is a players league. So why wouldn't you want to know about players? Like, that's one thing that I really respect about Voch and Joe Rod as well. Joe Rod is draft guy. Some guys, I'll be honest, you got to really have a love for this game and have a high IQ for this game to talk about the draft, because you got to know how were they used, what's their comps, I mean the whole nine. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know what you're talking about and you're a phony, people going to call you out.
Sure.
Well, Voch is not one of those guys, so thanks for letting me be on this program and this platform. Voch, you my dog, bro.
Man, I appreciate your kind words. I'm humble, man. Watch Patrick Queen mess around and get drafted at 16 or some shit. Everybody, you can go to all the social medias and tell them that, hey, Foots and Voch convinced me that Jared Judah might be there at 17. VOCHLONBARDI. You
and
should.
Tell them come debate us. Yeah.
They don't want to come fuss over here. Hey, man, I think I've been dropping a film session a day for the past 2 weeks. Like, I just been having fun, so I ain't really like got tired yet or whatever. But like, being vegan Voch got me a little more energy than normal or whatever. But like, hey, watch my damn film, man. And look, don't be waiting and binging it later. You know what I mean? Like let me get them early views so the algorithm can pick up on it and push it out. You know what I mean? That don't cost you a dime. But Voch Lombardi, everything, man. VOCHLONBARDI. I appreciate y'all. Me and Foots gonna find some more time to do some more of these before the draft or whatnot. The next one may be like what happens after the combine or something. I don't know. We'll see. But brother Foots, thanks for coming through, and everybody else, y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski, the Peace. Whiskey is free, man. Peace.
Lock in, man.